welcome to the Mandcave. It's the only podcast hosted by two best friends with nothing in common except their names. I'm Mandy Fabian.
And I'm Mandy Kaplan, and each week we test the limits of our friendship by arguing over movies, books, the latest trends, and of course, Mandy's wicked dumb ideas. Grab a couch and let's get to it.
Wait a minute, cut this shit.
I need to start off with some bad news.
Oh, thank God.
And I hate to immediately bring us down, but it's pretty sad.
Hey, Fandies, you're welcome. That's what they come here for. Go ahead. What is it?
If I could have some sad music, please, Mandy. Not Pete, Mandy.
Oh, sure. It came upon a midnight clear.
My espresso maker is broken.
Oh.
I haven't had espresso.
Oh, God. Is there something also wrong with your car that you can't go get espresso? That seems strange to me.
There's something wrong with my husband who's like, I'm going to fix it.
Oh, no, you can't let that happen. How are you letting that?
This is happening as we speak. This is what's happening in my home. He's trying to fix it.
The machine that makes the espresso?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of sexy. Is there a tool belt involved?
No, he listens. He's not going to be happy. His standard handyman outfit is just holding a hammer and wearing his undies and nothing else. And I love it. He's a handy Jew, and I'm grateful every day for it.
Sure.
And he fixes stuff. He's good at it, but it is not without 25 trips to Lowe's and a lot of swearing and grunting and arguing with himself and with me.
That's amazing. See, I'm married to the guy who's like, babe, I'll just drive to Starbucks and buy you coffee every day for the rest of your life. I can't wait to tell you the conversation that we had after what we watched this week. Can we jump into it? Or?
Dive in.
I'm sorry. It's sort of a natural segue because this week I asked you to watch The Shrink Next Door. It has been a really interesting journey because if I may be so bold, I'm going to out you a little bit. The truth is, listeners, when I asked Mandy, when I said to her what we were going to watch, she got this look on her face and her words said, I want this, but her face said, I don't. We've all been there, right? I mean,
wedding night.
Oh God.
Wedding night. Yep.
We've all been in that situation. But then I actually asked her offline later. I was like, hey, not that we ever talk between these podcasts. We don't.
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I said, well, what was it about that? And she said, oh, I hadn't heard good things. So I went into this thinking with I think the right approach, because I went into this thinking, maybe it's not going to be very good. And I found it delightful. And not only did I love it, but Patrick also loved it. I was like, I have to watch this thing for the podcast. And his first response was like, I don't think I'm interested. And then we were watching it and we totally got sucked in. And now we're like, ooh, we get to watch another Shrink Next Door. And then I could tell you the story later about the funny conversation we had. Go ahead.
Should we have Pete, our boss?
We love you,
should
Pete.
we have him play the trailer? And that way everyone knows what Shrink Next Door is?
Oh, that's a great idea. Look at you.
Do it, Pete.
Are you Marty? Yeah. What brings you here? I don't know. Phyllis made me come. My sister. Huh? She must be very persuasive. Well, tell me about yourself. I run a fabrics company. So you're the boss. That feel good? It feels... Phyllis has always been the strong one.
You're a grown man hiding behind a wall of curtains.
I think I can help you. The first thing I'm going to do is completely unethical. I'm going to give you a hug. No, I'm a hugger. There's no shame in feeling pain, Marty. Be the ruler of your own domain. Work begins at 9 a.m. sharp. Phyllis! I'm trying to be ruler of my own domain.
This therapy is really working out, huh?
It is. It really is. The goal of life is to live. Will turn you into the man you truly deserve to be.
This doctor's a little unconventional.
He's a miracle worker.
What is he doing here?
Helping us. What do you think? So much fun.
Is that allowed?
Well, I didn't work, didn't I? He's changed my life. He's changed me.
You clearly have a good eye.
Me? You're the one with the good eye. Eyes. 2 eyes. The appropriate quota of ocular spheres. Why are we running? I don't know. Run! You're growing, Marty!
Is he your psychiatrist?
Psychiatrist, business partner, best friend.
How does all of that work?
He just has no boundaries, and I don't trust him.
Cut her out of your life. She's the only family I have. Without trust, we have nothing. I trust you completely. This is my decision.
He's living in your head.
I am going to take care of everything. Feels good, doesn't it? Yeah.
So how is the trailer? I haven't seen it.
I don't think I have either, but he just played it. And the people got to hear what Shrink Next Door is.
Well, that's risky.
And it is based on a very successful podcast by Wondery.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember if you told me about that podcast or if I just found it on I think I found it in the New York Times.
Oh,
it was a list of.
classy.
Oh, did I say that? I was reading it at the time too.
Mm-hmm.
So
with your pipe.
That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And my basset hound laying at my feet. Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to tell you what I thought of it yet, but I am going to say, do you remember the first shot of the show?
Isn't it the oneer at the party? Isn't it doesn't they follow Will Ferrell around at the party? I don't remember.
That might have been the first shot, but I believe it started off with bees. A lot of bees.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, great. So we're diving right in with my fear.
Yeah. And that has never come back. And it's not even a thing in the show, at least so far. But that's funny that you're right. It was the opening, him being the beekeeper at this place. What a weird thing to choose for an opening gambit. I loved the podcast. I mean, we should start there. If anybody hasn't listened to the podcast, I highly recommend listening to it because it starts with that. I think it even starts with a better kind of when you have a real sense of what, where the story is going, like what the deceit is, and then you just investigate it. That to me was really thrilling. I thought they did a really good job.
Well, the journalist is the character in the podcast.
Yes.
And the journalist moves into the Hamptons and there's a knock on his door from the groundskeeper next door. And he says, you're invited to a party at this house next door if you'd like to come. Right?
Yeah.
Or the journalist assumes it's the groundskeeper. Mm-hmm. It's Marty. Marty doesn't say, I live next door. That's my house. Would you like to come to a party?
Right.
He says, Dr. Ike is throwing a party at the house next door if you'd like to come this weekend. That's weird and creepy and a great way to start a podcast.
Yeah.
Because then the journalist is like, I later came to find out the truth behind this.
The guy throwing the party, it wasn't his house. And the guy who I thought was the groundskeeper who's been living in the back house is actually the owner. It's a fantastic premise to go into.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Patrick had not heard the podcast because he doesn't listen to podcasts.
We know.
As we all know.
Asshole.
You can say that.
I know I can.
And he'll still go to Starbucks and bring you an espresso right now.
I know he will.
Because he loves Starbucks that much.
I should text him.
Yeah.
I do too.
Do you want to take a minute? So it was, I really was worried because I was like, I don't know how this is going to build. And the show is very different because it's not told from the journalistic perspective. It's really told from inside Marty's perspective and way more inside Dr. Ike's perspective. There's almost no, to my memory, real personal backstory on Dr. Ike or what his motivations might have been. He's not a sympathetic character. In the podcast, you hear him. I mean, you hear what he's done and you're like, how is this still happening? And you hear all of his sort of victims, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But in this show, he's a human being and they've sort of given you at least some sort of character idea of why he might be behaving the way he's behaving, which is psychotic.
Yes, and they have cast the most likable actor in history, Paul Rudd. That makes it hard to hate him.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, it's very slow. Right. I think it moves it's like molasses a little bit, but it's so character driven. And I got to say, once I got over in the initial, I was like, wait, are they from New York? And is Will Ferrell Jewish? That was at first I was like, oh, we're going to talk like this.
This is my hot button issue. I'm glad you brought it up.
Oh,
because in this day and age, you cannot cast a white person as Black or an Asian person as Hispanic. You can't do that in this day and age.
Yeah.
Judaism is a culture. and none of the actors doing the quote Jewish accent. I know it's New York, but there is a very forgive the word Jewy sound to what they're doing.
Yeah.
None of them are Jewish. And
What?
I didn't know if that's none of the actors are Jewish.
Paul Rudd is not Jewish?
No.
Catherine Hahn is not Jewish?
No.
What? Are you sure?
I mean, I didn't birth them. But no, I don't think they are Jewish at all.
I thought they were.
So actually, I have a clip. Pete, if you could play in episode 1, 602 to 648.
Hey, where you going? Back in here. I'm gonna look for it. Oh, there he is. Come on, say hi to your uncle.
Uh-oh, Phyllis, call the exterminator. We've got pesky little critters running around in the building.
I made an appointment with Dr. Kirschkoff for you for this afternoon.
Gosh, they're all over me. What are they exactly? Let's see, they have a lot of fur. And
Did you hear me?
I can't go.
Why can't you go?
Look, I don't want to talk to some stranger about...
He's not a stranger. Rabbi Goldberg recommended him.
No, hey, no tickling.
Okay, girls, knock it off. Leave your Uncle Marty alone. Come on, let's take the picture before you ruin your outfits. Girls, come on, let's go. Come on, put the phone down, please. Is that yours? No.
Okay.
All right, thank you. You look adorable.
So you can all hear what I'm talking about, that the sound they're all doing. And I don't know if that's politically correct. And as a Jewish person myself, I don't care. But I was wondering, was there any backlash, or shouldn't they have tried to cast Jewish people? Are you looking up if they're Jewish?
I am. I did. Yes. But I'm also listening at the same time because
you can do that type of thing. I can't. But are they?
Superwoman. So Paul Rudd is Jewish.
What?
Yes. Catherine Hahn is not, which I was really surprised because she also played the rabbi on Transparent.
Yes. Yeah.
And you know what? I don't honestly know about Will Ferrell, but you're probably right. But since we didn't know about the others,
Jewish?
He is. Yes.
Oh my God.
His parents are Jewish. And Paul Rudd is Jewish, but Will Ferrell isn't.
Okay.
So, but 2 out of 3, I understand that. I mean, that makes sense to me. And I will say, but Paul Rudd to me, like, God, he's nailing it. I mean, his mannerisms, his physicality is just so many men that I have met. There's something about it. And you're right. He is so friendly and charming. And then he can turn and be this insidious guy. Like, I was not expecting much at all. And probably because my expectations were lowered, right? But I'm like,
You're welcome.
Yeah. I mean, I think he is crushing it. And I have to say, even though Will Ferrell's not Jewish, and I understand that, I get the pet peeveness of it. I get that. But I think he's doing a fucking great job. I really am buying him.
I posted more of a question. It's not that it bothers me. It's just like, is that okay? Like in today's PC world, I don't know if it's okay, but it didn't bother me. But my biggest note overall of the first episode is, how is Paul Rudd hot in a pastel Argyle sweater vest?
Oh my God. I know
that
he's
man
hot.
Can do no wrong.
No, he really can't. He's so hot no matter what he does. And he plays this fucking manipulative monster in this thing. And I'm like, oh my God, please just come and take all my money. Like, you could.
Dr. Ike.
Oh, doctor. Yeah.
Casey Wilson also, I can't imagine, is Jewish.
Oh.
If you want to look that one up, she plays his wife. And she's doing the same accent. Maybe she is. I can't imagine.
No, she's Gentile. But she did join a Jewish sorority.
Well, good for her.
Yeah. Interesting. Oh, but wait a second. She got married in a traditional Jewish ceremony.
Not my business. Now, I found the beginning confusing, and I was grateful that I had listened to the podcast. I'd be curious, was Patrick confused at all at like who people were and the premise and the factory they work in? He was on board. He understood the storytelling.
He was not confused at all, but I think they really laid it out. Like, you did not have to know the podcast to get this show because there doesn't need to be any explanation. Marty runs a fabric business, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get the players. One thing that maybe it wasn't as spelled out for him, because we're already at like episode 5. I think we got through 5 episodes. We loved it, and we're gonna binge the rest like as soon as we can. It's really yeah, there's something about it that's just so, the subtlety of it and the way that Dr. Ike keeps making things happen and the way he works Marty, it's like so uncomfortable and awful, but it's like, oh, you can kind of see why it would happen. And they've done the brilliant thing of watching Marty snap at the beginning of the show, so you know that's coming. So now you're just waiting to see like, oh my God, when is it going to be too much for him?
Right. Stylistically, it is so dark. And I wrote, I don't mean tonally, I mean dark, physically dark. Like I'm like, does nobody have electricity in New York in the 1980s? Turn your lights on, right? It's very dark.
I wonder if that's a TV
all
thing.
The scenes.
I don't have that problem. You might have a broken TV. I mean, it's not something I noticed. So I'm wondering.
Oh God, the espresso maker and now the TV? Oh, no, it is shot very, it's a choice. It's all shot very dark and gloomy and it feels heavy. It feels like it's probably raining outside all the time. Every interior is dark. And then they shot in New York City, they're walking down the street and it's supposed to be 1982 or something.
Yeah. How
expensive is a shot like that? Because they're passing cars and street signs and things that all had to be redone to fit 1982. And I was thinking, oh, the money.
Yeah.
Go Apple, right?
Oh, Apple. They always give it they always.
Premium content.
Yeah, yeah. Very true. They go later to like 1990. They go like, they keep moving time periods. So it's not just the 80s. It's like, so that prop person is busy. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh God. Yeah. It looks great. And, and they really don't hold back.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they're amazing.
I only watched 2.
But you did watch 2. Okay. Did you watch 2?
But you haven't asked if I liked it.
Well, did you like it?
Yeah. Does that surprise you?
It does surprise me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think I would have gotten more eye rolling. I would have seen more eye rolling if you didn't like it.
Right. I don't know why it's getting maybe not universally, but the people I spoke to were like, oh, ugh, don't even, it's not worth it. It didn't live up to the podcast.
I have a thought.
Yeah?
Because I was asking myself that same question. I'm like, I'm really enjoying this. And I love Michael Showalter, who directed it.
Yeah, he's been on fire lately.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the credit sequence that they have, the way that the vines grow over whatever the first thing is. And it's so creepy and wonderful and funny too. But I have a theory. I think it's because I think Will Ferrell is doing a really good job and Paul Rudd is doing a really good job. But when you are tuning into something, watching Will Ferrell and Paul Rudd, I think it's hard for people to watch Will Ferrell not be the funny guy. Even though when he has a joke, he lands it, but there's very, very few jokes. He's really just a guy and he's being very authentic and he's very emotional. And I mean, he's not being his normal self. And I think that's why people if they have an expectation, was there something we watched? I can't remember what it was, but I was like, because of the people in it, I expected something different.
I can't, if somebody could reach out and remind us, because I have that memory, because we talked about the Kristen Wiig, Will Ferrell Lifetime movie that wasn't funny, but everyone expected it to be funny. But I can't remember what we were watching that we had that same reaction.
Yeah.
There is very funny dialogue in the pilot still, 2247, Pete. Please play it.
Listen, here's the thing. I can't pay for you to go to Mexico for a week. 5 days would be cheaper. Yeah. Or would you consider 3 days in Poughkeepsie? I have a coupon. There's spa privileges.
No, I have one. It doesn't matter. I have 2 coupons. It doesn't matter. That's not what.
I'm sorry.
Marty.
Marty. I'm sorry. Please don't yell at me. You don't need to yell.
That's a genuine laugh, which I think are not so common in this piece. But I loved that dialogue of him on the phone.
And I think, but to your point, it's like, that's very funny dialogue, but it's not done it like it's meant to be a joke. It's funny but it's also funny in that, like, oh my God, he's so desperate. Like, this is his psyche that he can't say these things. I really relate to this.
Oh, we're back to authenticity.
Boy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is Dr. Ike still practicing?
I hope so. I've left
like you
3
could
messages.
benefit.
Yeah, I've left 3
Okay.
messages for him.
Good.
I'm not hearing back, but hopefully this, when I talk about how sympathetic he is in this show, we'll clinch it, you know?
Yeah. No, I'm going to get deep if we could.
Sure.
If I could for a minute. Yeah. I'm actually going to get deep because this starts in a time like they show poor little young Farrell's bar mitzvah in episode 2 where he has a panic attack and can't come out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
And now he's in the present day storytelling, which is not present day, it's the 80s. He's having these severe panic attacks and he's in a business meeting and he hides behind a curtain because he can't confront his feelings and speak up. And Paul Rudd or Dr. Ike can say like, you're a grown man. This isn't real. Get over it. Panic attacks were not like a known, respected thing at the time.
Right.
So he was called a wuss and just people were like, what the F is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And that breaks my heart because now we live in a generation where if you say, I had a panic attack, everybody understands. It's not just that I was worried about something.
Yeah.
It's physical manifestation and it's debilitating.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
So poor Marty.
And you're a wuss. Genetically superior people can fight those things off is all I'm saying, you know.
And according to my father, I'm a drama queen. And this has been an issue. But
can we get your dad on the phone right now? Hang on, I'll text him. No, that's really interesting. But he knows, this character in the show knows he's having a panic attack. Like, I really do appreciate how they have made him, how they make him, and I watched further than you, they make him so broken in the beginning, but in a believable way. And then as he slowly starts to get stronger, it's like great because you really see him take this journey, but then also you see how incredibly interdependent he becomes on this doctor.
Right.
And you understand why he would do anything for this guy because he's basically just transferred even though the doctor makes him do all the improving, he attributes the doctor with all of the success, even though repeatedly Dr. Ike's character says, it's not me, Marty, it's you. You're the one doing this. You're strong. You're powerful. He keeps doing that. But of course, but that's what's so clever about it because, you know, he's not taking credit for it, but Will Ferrell's character, Marty, is giving him all the credit. And so now he has the most powerful thing of all. He'll never leave.
Well, that's what a cult is right? I mean, Scientology, you go to a couple of networking events when it starts. I'll come out and say it. I'm anti-Scientology. It's a bold stance, but I'm willing to say it.
Wouldn't it be great? Our recording gets cut off now.
A helicopter just lands on my studio. But John Travolta flies in. But, I had a sex dream about John Travolta last night. Oh. Breaking news.
Is this real? Is this really happening?
Yes. I gave a blowjob to John Travolta in my dream last night.
That is out there. Wow. Congratulations to John.
But
and
he
I
was
hope
like,
you're very
look
happy
who's
together.
talking, John. He wasn't today John Travolta.
Oh,
he was more like, you know, late 80s, early 90s John Travolta. Not even Grease Travolta.
Oh.
It was, oh God. Okay.
Wow.
Woo.
I would have maybe.
Woo. This is unlocking some stuff for me.
This is your therapy session. You're welcome.
It is. But, you know, when you start Scientology, you go to a couple of networking events and the people that bring you in, they know you're a struggling actor or a real estate broker who can't make a sale. They help you make your first sale. They help you get your first part.
Right.
And they tell you, you did that. You know, we helped you manifest your inner brilliance you're clear now, right?
Right.
So that is just by the book cult indoctrination to me.
Yeah.
That Dr. Ike would say, you know, you did it. Because even in the pilot, I think Dr. Ike literally like hangs up the phone or like sticks up for Marty, right? And like, I can't think of what scene it is, but
he's breaking up with his girlfriend, right?
Is it that?
Yeah.
And then he does it again in another scene with somebody else. Like, so Dr. Ike is jumping in.
Yes. Oh, totally.
And then claiming, oh no, it's all you. It's all you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's really brilliant. You can really see how, oh my God, Marty's finally enjoying his life for the first time in his life. And it's all because of Dr. Ike. So of course he would do anything for him. That relationship is so fascinating to me and so uncomfortable. And yet, because they have this real friendship. Like, it's not real. It's not real at all, but it feels real. The way that they're playing it is like these two very broken individuals are helping each other on some level.
And this is a crazy analogy, but just I'm the analogizer and I have to do it.
Amazing.
So
you should put John Travolta in that movie.
It's like if I adopt a stray puppy or kitten and I love them so much and I take them in and I make them better and then I take pictures and the pictures go on the internet and start to make me money. And I love this puppy or kitten.
I'm loving this business model. Go ahead.
Right. And I take care of it and I nurture it. But then like bonus, it's making me all this money. So then I start to get like, oh, I got to get costumes and I got to make videos and I got to up my game and get better lighting and
keep going.
It's not that I don't love. Yeah. It's not that I don't love the puppy or kitten. And I do think there's an element of that. Dr. Ike loves Marty. He does feel a genuine sympathy and nurturing. I think he likes how he feels about himself by watching Marty's transformation, but I do think he cares about him.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he would have like gotten rid of him, but he keeps him around in the house, in the yard.
Yeah.
So I do think he loves him like a kitten or a puppy.
Well, you'll see when it gets later, he's acting out like you start to like, if you like psychiatry, if you're a armchair analyst, is that what they call it? Armchair psychiatrist. Because they put up all of the parent issues and the with both characters, and you see the way that they act things out. You're like, oh my God, it's classic. But also, that's not what was in the podcast, which I think is so interesting. To me, the podcast is like, oh no, this guy's a con artist and look at the shit he did. And it was all from Marty's perspective, which I think that's the more real, who knows how actually sympathetic Dr. Ike really is. I would be curious to know if this is if this is all conjecture, how much they researched the actual guy. I really am interested to know that. It's not in the podcast at all that he's so sympathetic or motivated or kind to Marty like that. But to see it, it's very confusing in a great way.
Now, you know me and you know my history. Had I lived in New York 20 years before I did, I would have definitely dated Dr. Ike. Right? I mean, we would have been...
Or Marty.
Oh, no, I don't think Marty's my type.
Marty's a depressive, though. You had a few of those, right? That like,
I did.
A sad sack, But you would have...
I did.
I'm going to say...
I would have been very attracted to a Dr. Ike.
God, yes.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I guess I'm picturing him like Paul Rudd. The actual Dr. Ike was not as good looking, but...
Yeah. Honey, if you had met Paul Rudd in the 80s, you would have met him. Yes, you would have dated him. I'm going to give you that for sure. Dr. Ike or no.
No, but I mean Dr. Ike.
I know.
Sadly,
So what about him would have been the thing that made you go, I got to get with this?
The moody, cocky, Jewy, successful. There's something about that existed in my past, but not in my present and not in my future. I love you, Jeremy Clavin.
You are neither cocky nor successful according to your wife right now. No, I'm kidding. Just kidding.
I love it.
Yeah. No, you know what's funny? That you should say that, because there was a moment when I was like, Paul Rudd reminds me a little bit of Jeremy, or vice versa.
Oh, always. He was in that movie, I Love You Man, named Peter Clavin. Coincidence? I think not.
Yeah. No, they remind me of each other a little bit.
Very much so.
Yeah, for sure. So
Jeremy's my Ant-Man.
You got lucky.
And if he doesn't fix that espresso maker.
Oh, God.
There was a line in episode 2 that I put in quotes. Marty's sister, Catherine Hahn, who is just so spectacular in this and in everything she does.
Yeah.
She doesn't go to his adult bar mitzvah, which, by the way, is done today. Like, that was controversial back then, I guess, but people do adult bar mitzvahs now.
They do?
So they do.
Oh.
Yeah. She's upset and sitting at the kitchen table with her kids, and Uncle Marty's not there for his own birthday celebration. And she ends up saying, well, that's what family is. A collection of people you owe an apology to. And I thought that was incredible writing.
Yeah, it's really great. There's a scene which you haven't seen yet. Oh, maybe I shouldn't blow it for you. Oh, can I blow one scene? Maybe not.
You say blow. You know, I had a dream last night.
No way.
That I don't blow it.
I don't want to blow it though, but it was just so funny. Okay. It involves fire retardant and a Broadway show, is what I'm gonna say. And they
I saw that.
You did?
He designed the scrim he made the scrim for the theater in episode 2. Maybe it
okay. So they actually
escalates
see
in
the
episode
show
3.
in episode 3. And
okay.
They have a very funny bit on that I won't tell you about. But it is like we were laughing really hard.
Gotcha.
So get at least to episode 3, everybody. Oh, so are you ready
now, are we still allowed to say fire retardant or no? Okay. No. Sorry. All right. Oh boy.
Don't ask me. I have no moral compass. I mean, in general, but then when it comes to comedy, I'm the worst.
Yeah.
Getting better though. And here's what I'll say. You know, Kathryn Hahn, I know she's not Jewish, but she is such a goddamn good actress.
Yeah.
That you could have had maybe an actual Jewish actress playing that who wasn't as good and it might have seemed, cartoony or something. You know what I mean?
So me, if I played it.
I'm just saying you definitely should not. It should have been Kathryn Hahn. No, I'm kidding. No,
no,
I'm just
saying
no,
with my chuchel and my buchel.
I just think she's so good that I believe anything she does. Oh,
she's perfection.
Yeah, she is. All right. Are you ready to give it a man job?
I sure am. I'm ready to give it 3.75 man jobs.
That's higher than you usually go.
I know. I can't say I love it, and I want to give it 4 or 4.5.
Yeah.
But 3.5 seemed a little too low. I really like it.
Yeah.
And I will keep watching it. If I catch this cold that my boys have,
which you definitely will. Just go ahead and get it. Just go French kiss one of them. You pick.
Okay.
And then you should go and watch this because it's really enjoyable. I can't wait to get back to it. I also have a busy week, but I'm definitely going to finish it. And I'm also very excited that Patrick liked it as much as I do because it's so character driven and it is a little bit slow and I had seen the podcast. I mean, listen to the podcast. So I thought I would like it more, but he really, really liked it. So
good.
It's a win-win-win-win. So I'm going to give it, I feel like I give things 4, but maybe I would actually, this is going to be odd, but no, I'm going to give it 4. That's what I'm doing. Like this is going to go on our website and be in a crazy, you can, if you disagree with me, you can go on Discord and tell me there. I'm all up in the Discord business now.
Now you are. Welcome.
Yep. Took me a minute.
Look, can I tell people what Discord is?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Discord is like an online community where you can hop in and chat with the Mandys. Mm-hmm. You just go to mandcave.com/Discord.
Yes, please.
And join us, one of us.
Yes. You can also, there's a special channel for members. So if you want to become a Fandy, which is a member of the show, you can also go to mancave.com/Fandy, Fandy. And I think it's like, I don't know, there's different levels of membership, but I think it's like the cost of
$5 a month.
Cup of coffee. You can help keep our show going and you get access to fun bonus content, which we've been working on. You get to check out our prom pictures. Mine is coming. So I apologize to Curtis. I promised not only a prom picture, but a picture of my most likely to succeed plaque, which I'm not really sure I still have it, which is really out of character for me. But anyway, you can go there and check that stuff out. You help us support the guys who make this show. It's a production of True Story FM, engineering by Pete Wright, music by Ian Post. Thank you guys. And, we would love to get to know you. So join us.
Yeah. And those of you who are listening and who adore us, which is everybody listening?
Hello.
Please, right now, while I'm saying this, leave us a 5-star review and write a review. You can ask us questions and we will give you a shout out on the pod.
Yeah, we love that stuff.
We sure do.
Yeah. And, we also, by the way, check it out. We have merchandise that's fun from different episodes. Mancave.com/merch. You can go and check out our t-shirts and travel mugs. And I think this week is going to feature Mandy giving a blowjob to John Travolta. So,
oh gosh, I hope so.
Yeah. So I can't wait for that.
Get on that, Pete. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, as is our tradition, I have a game for you. I think you're going to really enjoy this.
Is it just like Paul Rudd focused? Do I get to, is it like put your tongue on the Paul Rudd?
That pin your tongue on the Paul Rudd would have been a great game, but we're not in the same room. Now, if you want, I could just hypnotize you like a therapist would, and then you can just sort of spell out a sexual encounter with Paul Rudd of your choice. I mean, you have that option right now if you want to do that instead of my game.
Yeah.
But no, I thought that I would give you a little dime store psychology. And I thought it'd be fun for us to delve into like our deepest, darkest problems. But then, to be honest, that was going to take way too long, especially for me. So instead, I'm going to give you a little bit of a quiz to see how like Marty you might be. And the quiz is, are you a pushover? And
okay,
I am not going to tell you how I did on the quiz because I want
you have to at the end.
I want to be a mystery. Well, I'm going to give you
Just
the
tell
quiz.
me. Just tell me. How did you do?
Turns out I think the word was total pushover.
I just pushed you over, you asshole.
See, I know.
You're like, I'm not going to tell you. And all I said was tell me. And you did.
Okay, well, I'm trying to keep the podcast going. I mean, what if you...
Oy vey,
somebody had to talk. I know. It's awful. I have no boundaries. It's the worst.
Wow.
Oh, my stomach. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, then we'll do it. All right. So, question number 1. Mm-hmm. When it comes to making decisions, do you struggle? Always. It depends on how important the decision is. Never.
Never.
I always There's 4. Hold on. You have to give real answers.
But that's how quick I am at making decisions. You know that.
Okay. All right. You never struggle. Great.
No, I'm decisive.
God damn, okay, well, that's probably how I got total pushover and you won't. But okay, let's see this. Your family is ordering, this is dumb. Your family is ordering a pizza. Now, are we past all of the IBS in your house, like stuff like that? Does everyone eat pizza?
Yeah, we all eat.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
You know me and carbs, but yeah, okay.
All
yeah,
right.
I can order pizza sometimes.
Okay. You're the only one who wants pepperoni. Do you speak up and ask for the topping on half? Okay. You have to, here are the choices. Absolutely. No way. I don't want to ruffle feathers. I'd attempt to work up the courage, but would probably say nothing. Yes. What's the harm in asking? I'm not sure.
Yes. What's the harm in asking?
Oh, so not an absolutely.
No, I mean, I would definitely say, ooh, I want pepperoni. But if people were like, oh, I'm not in the mood, I would be like, okay. I wouldn't like insist on pepperoni on my half.
All right. I don't know why I asked you to justify your answer, but I'm curious.
Well, it involves meat and cheese. So it's really my area of expertise.
These quizzes are so high end and specific, the layers of subtlety.
Yes.
Especially with the pizza thing. I mean, you just never know. Okay. Here is the third question. A coworker failed to prepare for a meeting. You have pages of ideas and notes. Don't say it. Don't fucking say it. Because I am prepared for meetings. I know what you think. Okay. Sometimes I'm not. He asks if he could borrow some of your plans. What do? I give him my notes and plans that I probably won't speak up anyway. I tell him he can sit next to me and look off of my ideas. I tell him he should have prepared himself. I laugh and tell him no. Or there's an other. What would you do?
Well, I'm not going to choose other.
Right.
Yeah, he could look on my notes, but he can't say, I had this fantastic idea and then claim it as his own. Mm-hmm. But he can read along with my notes and I would help a coworker out.
This is interesting because I laugh and tell him no. But still, I'm a total pushover. Well,
you're a TP.
I'm a total pushover. All right, you ready? You've been waiting in a long line at the bakery. Someone cuts in front of you. How do you respond? Now, by the way, I looked at a couple personality quizzes to see, what I wanted to do with you. This is a question that comes up in a lot of online quizzes. Like, apparently this is a big deal to people when somebody cuts in line at a bakery. And it's always a bakery. Just saying. Okay. So I say nothing. I start to cry. I tell them I was in front of them. I tell the store manager or other.
I tell them I was in front of them.
Okay.
However, there are a lot of things that factor in.
Okay.
Who am I dealing with? Right? Yep. If it's somebody with the tear tattoos, and I know they've had 3 kills, I'm not going to mention it.
Okay.
If it's a mom with toddlers and she's harried and like just trying to get through her day,
Then
I'm not going to mention it.
Okay.
Right. An elderly person, I'm not going to say it. But yeah, if it's just somebody who I don't think is going to have a rage issue, and I would say it very nicely, there would be no attitude. It would just be, oh, excuse me, I was actually in line. You cut in front of me.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
And I probably would say sorry, which I hate, but I would.
Okay.
So that's my answer.
All right. That's a good answer. That's a very
detailed as hell.
I love that answer. And it also makes me realize I really am a total pushover.
Yeah.
Because of course I'm like, oh, what difference does it make? Unless I'm in a hurry or I have my kids in a hot car, which happens all the time. Okay. Maybe that's why the bakery question keeps coming up. All right. Here we go. Your best friend told everyone else in your... Oh, I know your answer for this one. Your best friend told everyone else in your friend group a secret you shared with her. Now, I know this best friend wouldn't have been me because I'm great at keeping secrets. What's your response? I forgive and forget. I let it slide. I am hurt, but I say nothing, or I confront her about it.
I confront her about it.
I know you do. You're really good like that. God damn.
That's Mandy Kaplan Clavin's 2.0. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I wouldn't have. 30 years ago. Oh my God.
What changed? Was it just gradual, like, I have to speak up or I'm going to die? Or like,
yes. Through a lot of therapy, I actually like got less and less afraid of confrontation and more willing to just,
Yep.
It'll pass, but I need to say something. I wouldn't approach the person, I was just going to be so mean to like a friend of mine and say, let's call her and just like pick a name, but I won't do that. But Susie, like, I wouldn't be like, Susie, what the fuck? But I would be like, hey, that really upset me. Why would you do that? You can't do that. So that's how I would approach it.
Yep. I think I actually did confront somebody one time. And it did pass, but I think that it was like one time. It depends on how big of a deal it is. I think that's but I wish I was just more like you, which is why I probably need more. I'll be getting
That's it.
I know.
Say nothing else.
That's it. No more podcasts. All right. Ready? Okay. When someone asks to borrow money, your immediate response is, how much? Are you going to pay me back? 3, okay. 4, I don't have it right now. 5, sorry, but I can't. Some of these are kind of similar, but what do you think?
Okay.
Okay. Interesting. Look, not for another, we've been looking for a house and... Okay. Great. Good to know. I like this quiz. All right. Your best friend borrowed your favorite sweater weeks ago. You really want it back. What do? 1, I ask for it back. 2, I drop hints that I'm missing the sweater, which I really enjoyed. 3, I hope that mentally she will receive my messages. And 4, I accept that it's lost forever.
I ask for it back.
I know you do. It's a sweater.
Of course. Yeah.
I do that. Hope that mentally she will receive my messages, though, a lot. Maybe before I ask for it back.
How's that working out for you?
I've lost a lot of sweaters.
I was going to say.
Empty closet.
It's why you're naked in the podcast sometimes.
That's right. All right. There's only a couple more questions. Okay. How often do you apologize even if you've done nothing wrong? 1, way too much. 2, anytime I'm feeling a little guilty. 3, hardly ever. 4, never.
1,
way too much.
Way too much.
Yep.
I'm not going to get all on my feminist high horse, but I do think that's a female phenomenon.
Yep.
That I start so many sentences with, sorry, could I get more ketchup, please? Sorry. I've done nothing wrong in asking for more ketchup.
Yeah.
And then I also, I think you know this about me, if I've asked for more ketchup, I will feel such shame if I don't finish it. So I like purposefully eat so much more ketchup. Or if I ask for a refill, I feel like I have to drink the Arnold Palmer or I'm going to be like, why did I ask? And the waiter's going to hate me. So.
That's interesting. I have a question. If you don't eat carbs, what do you need ketchup for?
I don't want to talk about it. When I was little, I used to dip carrots in ketchup. Isn't that gross?
Ooh, I don't know. I haven't tasted it.
Yeah.
See, I
eat French fries sometimes. You know that. I do eat some carbs.
Okay. All right. I love that. That's so funny. Okay. Just a couple more. All right. In a basically empty movie theater, a really tall person sits directly in front of you. What do? 1, I get up and move. 2, I ask them to move. 3, I suffer through it.
1.
Get up and move. Yeah, that seems
we
right.
did that at Scream because of the rowdy teenagers.
Yeah. I mean, why bother?
Right.
Although I did have a woman ask me to stop dancing at a Broadway musical, and she literally said, "You're ruining the show for me." Yep.
Oh, I've seen you dance. That lady was wrong.
Right. And I wasn't standing up dancing, by the way. I was just moving in my seat, bouncing. It was 6. It was my birthday.
It's 6. Yeah.
It was a hugely bouncy, dancey musical. And she was like, "Could you stop dancing? You're ruining the show for me."
I am so sorry that my mom was at the theater that night. That is...
See, I thought that was, that's a confrontation that I think is too much and is not good. But, I'm a total pushover. So I didn't be like, fuck
So
off,
am
lady.
I a pushover?
No, we have one more question. You've been asked to go to a concert, but you hate... I know your answer to this. You've been asked to go to a concert, but you hate the musician. What do? I go anyway and broaden my horizons. I tell my friend to find someone else. I go and complain the whole time. I stay home and enjoy myself.
It is a combination of going and complaining the whole time because I want to prove my point that musician is bad.
Oh.
And staying home. But the one answer wasn't just telling my friend to fuck right off. And that's probably what I would do. Well, if you said, I have a ticket for Rod Stewart, I would say, you can fuck right off.
Well, that would mean...
that's my answer.
But I'm not really your friend if I'm asking you to go see Rod Stewart. I tell my friend to find someone else.
Your husband has asked me to see some bands that... I don't like classic rock. I'm not going to go see Rush or Yes or any of those bands. And your husband has put those feelers out and I tell him to fuck right off.
Sure. So it sounds like I stay home and enjoy myself, but I tell my friend to find someone else. Right?
Okay.
You know what? I'll do stay home and enjoy myself.
Yeah.
No, I did tell my friend to find someone else. But this is interesting because I said I go anyway and broaden my horizons because I would.
Of course you would.
Right. Because I think that's fun and open and interesting and I like it. And guess what? I think that's what contributed to my total pushover. Oh, fuck you. All right. Here's what you got. I mean, congratulations. It's actually great. But I can't believe I got total pushover. Here we go. Ready? Oh, this is good. Yeah. You are confident and strong. While you'll sometimes go along with the group for the sake of peace, you never let anyone walk all over you. Voice your opinion and stand behind your beliefs. Your inner strength and high self-esteem make you a force to be reckoned with. God, congratulations. That is fantastic.
Thank you.
You've always said that I should ask you what to do and then just do whatever you tell me to do. But I clearly need to.
Let's do that. Maybe for a bonus pod. For 1 week, I get to make all your decisions like Monica did for Rachel.
Oh, that could be fun. I would do that because I'm a pushover.
I know.
Unbelievable.
And now I get to tell you what you're going to ingest for next week.
I should say no.
Right. You're just going to do it because I'm telling you to.
Sure. What is it?
Well, you and I had a discussion when we illegally saw each other outside of our podcasting lives.
Yep.
We talked about our mutual love of MLMs and all things about them.
Yeah.
And there is a podcast about the one that I was telling you about, but I have not listened to the podcast, The Rise and Fall of LuLaRoe.
Oh, fun.
So we're going to listen to that podcast.
Okay, that sounds great. I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love a culty MLM story, so I'm very excited.
We should consider, starting one of those. We'll have to figure out what our product is going to be.
It's our merch.
It's you giving blowjobs to John Travolta is going to be a thing?
We can see.
All right. Cool. I like it.
We'll put that image on leggings and we'll sell it.
Oh, yeah. That's great. Okay.
Yeah. All right. We did it.
We did a wonderful job. The Shrink Next Door. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see everybody next week. I'll see you next week.
Bye. I love you.
That was smooth, huh? Love you too.